And chat, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, where we had just left off right at the start of the trial. Sorry that stream intro was so long. I was talking about money with my boyfriend. Sorting out my share of the moving costs. It's going to leave me relatively short on money for the next few months, but hey, it's got to get paid. Polygon got killed. When did that happen? That's odd. Also, hey, thank you for the raid, guys. I completely forgot to say that when I got back. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. You've joined at an excellent time. 1640. Okay. Okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
People are very sad about the VTuber Gargura retiring that persona. And in VTubing world, a VTuber ending their stint is called graduating. So this takes on a very amusing coincidental meaning.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Yeah, Taka.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Also, it's a reminder that you're all fucked.
Friendship penetrates.
Shut up, Hifumi.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
That's a good question.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people.
Alright, so who's the 16th gonna be?
Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin the debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. The first non-stop debate is about to begin. Did I miss the part where I can turn on skills? Do I have to load a slightly earlier save? Or am I not there yet? Did I load the wrong save? Was this an autosave? Did I turn on the skills last time? You know what? I think I did. You're right, I did. I did. Okay. I would like to hear more. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During those discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to aim, then fire with the triangle button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the options button during these arguments, you can review the controls. Excuse me. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, so how do I select the truth bullets? Evidence of a struggle.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka
Yeah, no
Maizono.
shit.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong. Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
Skills don't save if you turn them on and then save the game. So if you activate a skill, save, and then reload, you have to reselect them. Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's reload. Okay, hopefully this save is correct. Okay, whew, cool. Alright, trance, melodious voice. Even low combos will increase the tempo, effective during the bullet time battle, cost 4 SP. Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. Was there another one? Just for future reference, you might want to let the non-stop debate play out once before doing things just for the extra dialogue. Oh. Huh. I didn't realize that it would loop. It loops? Okay. Okay.
Let's begin with a base. If you can fit out and the killer of...
Okay then. Everyone...
Don't be a goddamn...
Before we move... What's going on with...
I'd feel awful if they got left out.
Yeah, the
just
timer
because
worries
they
me.
Died. Friendship.
Okay. There were only 50.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little Okay. That first up is the case summary.
Timer's a bigger deal on mean difficulty.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
I see there's a bunch of icons on the right side of the screen.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong. Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Who do you think?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Okay, kitchen knife set.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could
I
anyone
missed.
do something like that? That son of a bitch.
Did I not fire it fast enough? Because the object that was thrust into Sayaka's stomach was almost certainly the knife that disappeared from a certain location. I guess I have to be quicker on the draw.
Was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had.
No, that's wrong.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Quicker on the draw, more accurate, and anticipating where a word moves occasionally. Ah, interesting.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change
Yeah.
that conclusion.
You're invested, Leon.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's got to be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Sure. You can concentrate by holding down the R1 button. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. Okay, there's probably, as the game goes on, there's probably multiple highlighted sentences and phrases over the course of an entire non-stop debate section, which means you have to pick and choose. You can't just aim at the first one you see. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. I will have multiple bullets to choose from. Okay. Aoi's account.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining hall. And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Yes, and it's been decided. We've reached the end.
Some way to prove I didn't take the knife. The person who was in the dining hall last night should be able to do it. Wait, hang on. The timer resets to 10 minutes every non-stop debate? I thought it was 10 minutes total. The timer resets to 10 minutes every non-stop debate? The person who was in the dining hall last night should be able to do it.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret. No, that's wrong.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
What about what?
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Also, only one of us could get out. There's no reason for two people to work together to kill somebody.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Oh, but that means that,
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did
Owie,
take
how
the
many
knife?
people went into the dining hall?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
Have you not been paying attention to everybody's names, Leon?
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because,
Were you making out the
Well-
entire time?
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's
Taka,
unwholesome!
Sakura's a girl.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm
God
so
damn it,
sorry!
Taka.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here.
Oh,
anymore.
interesting. Oh, what if Sayaka got the knife herself? Someone who's not here. Are you talking about...
Sayaka Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was... Sayaka?
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
What if she went out of the room to kill Makoto, and Leon spotted her and chased her in?
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the left stick to aim, then press the triangle button to shoot the desired letters. Oh, tell me there's no delay and it just shoots the letters I hit. The letters I pressed the button on. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck and have fun. Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can just figure out what that something is. Or letters. Wait.
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any...
Yeah, Leon, why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence
I've
of
got
some
more.
hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
God, this is some compressed ass PS Vita audio.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is the object the killer broke. Difficult to open. Okay. There's no doubt this fact is an important one. But what we need now is the evidence left behind at the scene which proves it. You do remember what was in your room, right? What got broken? What got broken in my room? The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... okay. I guess they broke the doorknob then.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready
How could
to
he
fall
see
off.
that? Did you take a picture?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You would know.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Okay. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now this is important, because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you've failed. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck, and have fun! Bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the
Okay, that's
main
not it.
room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust
Okay,
down
that's
the
going to
door.
be the one.
Because Sayaka
Nope,
had
that's
locked
going to be the one.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
And to finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know the answer.
It's not because the door was locked. No, there's a different reason entirely. I was just going to hand me the answer, as if I didn't know.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because
Refreshing
it was
chat.
locked.
Okay.
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a
The cruddy door saved me.
That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the
Nameplate
boys'
switch.
bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was the crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening.
Right.
Right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms? Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
Alright, shut up, Hifumi.
But what happens if we can't decide?
How are we gonna
who they
pin
did?
down Leon?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have
Yeah, what's your
one
question?
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
That's a good question.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know
Shut
his
up, idiot.
place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because... it's going to be switching rooms.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Yeah, I guess she took it because she wanted to kill somebody. There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So,
Oh, this
Makoto,
sucks!
Did you
This
write
sucks! Leon was defending himself, wasn't he?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then, that note. Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any
Shut
effect
up.
on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what
Sure.
I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says my
Okay, is it going to
room.
be my room?
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
The killer went to my room instead of Sayaka's, and the reason for that is, it has to be because of what got switched between my and Sayaka's rooms. Is it always going to give me the answer?
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, is it because of the difficulty I chose?
the nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched.
Can I
just
change
like
that?
The rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
You can change it after the trial, but this is also the tutorial trial. Oh yeah, true.
Right.
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew that we had switched rooms.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who
Yeah,
ever
sorry
knew
for
about
not
us
posting the
switching
schedule
rooms.
until right after the stream went live. I completely forgot to do that at the end of last month.
So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and...
No, it's looking like she invited Leon over and Sayaka... Ooh, was it even Leon? Well, Sayaka attacked whoever she invited over.
We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with a fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt. It's got the gold. But which of these do I present? Oh, which of these do I present? Do I present the sword or the sword sheath? I'll present the sheath. I'm sorry, this just doesn't make any sense. How is there any connection between the sword and her wrist?
Shoot!
Okay, I guess I present her wrist?
I got
Huh,
it!
okay.
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room, and what led to Sayaka's death, that's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn about... More about non-stop debates! Oh, is this where I get multiple bullets? Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, You'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You can press the L1 button to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the L1 button to cycle through each bullet. Or you can hold down the L1 button and use the left stick to select a specific bullet. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For our purposes this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Well, I guess I will be turning the difficulty up. Replica sword sheath, kitchen knife set, replica sword.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden in her leg. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Okay. If the person with the sword really did attack first, there's no explanation for how a certain part of the sword got damaged. So the sheath.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
Oh, come on.
That's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden in her leg. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Kind is normally so easy that they needed to artificially turn up the difficulty on this answer to properly demonstrate the mechanic. Yeah, I'll turn up the logic difficulty. After this trial. Remind me to turn up the logic difficulty after this trial.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started
You can
with
skip
the
through the
sword.
non-stop debates the same way you can skip through dialogue. Gotcha. So with the circle button, I think.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword,
It doesn't
you'd
straight up
take it out
skip
of
each
the
channel,
sheath
but it
first,
speeds it up.
right?
Gotcha.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden
No,
there
it's looking like Sayaka tried to kill Leon.
Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
Wait, was it even Leon? Was it even Leon? Did whoever killed Sayaka write Leon's name? No, I think that'd be a little too much obfuscation.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The part of her body that shows she never used the sword. If you wanted to use a sword, which part of your body would have to touch it? The palms.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
They were relying on the target audience being Japanese and being shit at reading English upside down. Yeah, fair enough.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped.
Do you really think she had time to do that?
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
How does that follow, Toko?
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands, because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathrooms at nighttime. The water was off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower.
Shower every day. Everyone should shower every day, Toko.
Oh, my.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a
Why would that be a compliment?
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath and had to have been the one without the sword.
I got it!
Sayaka.
Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What? What?
From the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room.
She would have switched the nameplates after.
And by committing the murder there, instead of her...
Well, switch the nameplates back after is what I was trying to say.
But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone...
Oh, like you guys were in any mood to believe me.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation, a totally forgettable kid, or a national superstar, or you more like...
I'd say, gee, thanks, but you're kind of on the money there.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument!
Baby's first backstabbing.
You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh my god. Monokuma, how are you not enjoying the despair that's being inflicted on Makoto?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. Incorrect!
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die! If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
There's still one clue left, I'm sure of it. Sayaka left it on the wall she was leaning up against. Yeah, I know.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, that's wrong! There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka wrote that message, and I can prove it.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about
Doesn't mean
numbers.
she's a mathematician.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth
Oh,
a
come on,
shit.
Mondo.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn it, it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Sayaka's dying message reveals the real killer's name, Hangman Time. If you turn her message 180 degrees, it should become crystal clear. I just went all the way around, didn't I?
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around...
Not possible on modern smartphones, interestingly enough, because it'll just flip the screen back up to vertical orientation.
It becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon
Sure
tried
do.
to get rid of?
The evidence that Leon tried to get rid of. It's that thing I found on the ground in front of the incinerator, right? Burnt shirt piece.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible. I guess,
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
no, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. Oh, did they wrap the ball in the shirt and throw it at the incinerator?
The key to the trash room. whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
Okay, it's going to be close to the incinerator.
Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was... Huh? Me? No!
There absolutely was a way to use the incinerator without using the trash room key. Using something I found on the ground nearby.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must...
So the only one who could... the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator. No, that's wrong.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass ball in a certain way. Which was... throw it!
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without
And
his
he definitely
knowledge
would have turned it off.
was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet,
Yeah,
right?
you'd need to be some kind of pitcher.
The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
It wouldn't have been much of a challenge at all for the killer, because...
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Well, I guess he was that bad, but... Well, I guess anybody on a baseball team would have pinpoint accuracy. Because you've got to throw across the field.
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth
This
is
sucks!
revealed.
This was... self-defense.
Now here's what happened.
The closing argument is about to begin. I would like to hear more. Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events for the case in the form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that in the comic there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Also, if you take aim at a missing section and press the X button, Holy cow, you get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Well then, good luck and have fun. I have 20 minutes to do this. Oh, it's right to left because it's a Japanese game. Let's see. Ah, there are more parts. Okay. Man, that is a disturbing look on Sayaka's face. Wait, hang on. Okay. No, wait, that's already on there. So it is this. Okay, hang on. I guess maybe... No. What? Because she's already in the room at that point, so this is wrong. Okay, so her wrist is already broken there. What goes here? Oh, I see the order. Okay. Okay, now throw that. And there. Right, so that's an extra piece. Because it's a duplicate of one of the panels that already exists. Do I have all this right? I think I do.
Here's exactly what happened. I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room.
Click on the question
Sayaka
marks
was
with an X. It gives a hint.
In other words,
Well, I don't want hints. I want to try to figure it out myself.
From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open.
This is really good, good artwork in these panels. Very, what's the word?
And stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he'd left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that right, Leon?
Completed.
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it.
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
I have the evidence. Your first bullet time battle is about to begin. I would like to hear more. Sometimes during a class trial, your opponent simply won't want to hear what you have to say. When this happens, you will engage them in a head-to-head battle. We like to refer to this as the bullet time battle, aka the BTB BTW. During the BTB, you want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. It's a rhythm game? Match your button presses with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Do I have to aim? Press the X button to lock on to an opponent's statement. Destroy the statement you've locked onto with the triangle button as the tempo marker reaches the center. Use this method to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be the one in pain. I have a lot less HP than he does. Do this consecutively and you'll start a combo. Keep this going and you'll initiate a tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get into a tempo down situation. When the tempo changes, so does the timing for hitting each button. Is it square? If I save now, will it remember where I am if I fail? And I can just load this save right here and right before the bullet time battle? I cannot save. Moot point. When the tempo changes, so does the timing for hitting each button. So watch out for that. Deal enough damage to your opponent and their weak spot statement will appear. At that point, you can press the triangle button to shoot it down with a truth bullet like any other statement. Refute their statement fast enough and you'll come out victorious. But just like before, if your influence gauge reaches 0 or you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck and have fun!
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it.
Now can I save? I cannot save! Oh no. Wait, does it let me just retry if I fail, rather than taking me back to my save file? Okay.
Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
They used something of their own to remove the screws. Could it have been...
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid.
Alright. Real conversationalist we have here. I have to show indisputable evidence that Leon is the killer. I need to figure it out.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lie. Shut up. Here's your proof. You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
Toolkit. Alright, it took me a second to figure out exactly how it worked.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove
Press X
them.
consecutively, X for each statement, and then triangle to shoot them all down at once. I see. Okay.
I mean, it Had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be
Ah,
one
so he
in there.
brought the toolkit. Wait, did he go back to his room and get the toolkit, or did he bring the toolkit expecting to murder Sayaka with it?
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid.
Oh, he's gonna break down in tears.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Time for the fucked up part. Final result A. 77 medals? Holy shit. Cleared a class trial without having to retry a single time. Oh, cool. Not from concentrate. Cleared a class trial without using your concentration skill a single time. Any more achievements?
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Uh-oh, looks like you got it right on the money. The Blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kawada.
Huh? Hey,
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka? I don't believe it.
You
Son of a bitch, what the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So, that's why...
That's why I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was complete chance that I wound up like this.
I was just... unlucky. That's all. Hey! Come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Well, because if what we came up with really is the truth, then that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But, even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her, and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here, with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. I can't afford to be stuck in here.
Why?
The one thing that was more important to her than anything else. Her dreams, her friends. To have to see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka. I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it. Even some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So when she said,
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
she was being manipulative. She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. Boy, howdy! The entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness. What did you say? I understand, really I do. Yup. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it. Everything. It's all your fault. Suddenly, in a frenzy, I lunged at Monokuma. Ooh, which of them is going to save me from punching him? But
That's enough.
as angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Damn it! Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were going to give me a good walloping. Just barely avoided punishment, you did. Now then,
indeed.
since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kuwata will receive his punishment.
Punishment?
Yeah, punishment. You're about to die.
You mean execution? Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense. How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she'd shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. That's a fair point. It wasn't self-defense. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong? Well, Leon being the culprit is too obvious. I think the twist about Sayaka being the one planning to kill helps improve it overall. Yeah, this is pretty great. You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder? No, that's not...
Why...
Stop it. I've had enough of this. Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him. Swa? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation. The mastermind. Uh-oh, did you awaken to your sense of justice? Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up! Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for. The punishment.
I'm begging you! Please, don't do this!
No more begging. No more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please! Now then, I prepared a very special punishment!
For Leon Kawata, the ultimate baseball star. Oh, is it going to be an ironic punishment?
No! Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time! No!
Game over. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. This is good-ass artwork. Oh, he's going to be killed by a 1,000-mile-per-hour pitching machine, isn't he? Oh, that's going to suck. Oh, that's going to suck for him. The 1,000 blows. It is going to be ironic executions. For everybody. What we saw, that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I can't take it. I can't take this anymore. Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it. Well, hey, if you don't like it. All you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn
Man,
you!
fuck you. Why the fuck are you doing all this evil shit to us? Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type of guy. Or in this case, a dark, awful, secret society type of bear. So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a grueling ordeal? It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together. You piece of shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. No, they're not. You piece of shit. Of course we can't cut free of the outside world, being trapped in this insane place. You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of this school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What does
What are you trying to say? I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there. Just like before.
Chills! Chills! Kills!
Anyway, let's get to the Blackened's punishment. That's what everyone is waiting for after all. We just saw it, didn't we? When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to? Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I need to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone. He left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. Oh, he's full-on sobbing. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. Byakuya, Sakura, and Kyoko have some pretty stone faces. But it was in that moment. Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear. Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out. You're kind of stupid. I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool, becoming such an easy target like that. Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why, as she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me. You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Yet she could have pinned the blame on Makoto and had everybody die. But she pinned the blame on the person who actually killed her, so only the killer died. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now. However, even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What? The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her. That's certainly one possibility. One sec, refreshing chat. But I don't think that's what it was. She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure. It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward. Leon wasn't my friend, point of order. Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths? I could never do that. Oh yeah, Joko wasn't our friend is a good question. No. I'm going to carry them with me the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile. By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well, it's kind of the topic of the hour. I'm psychic. Huh?
What?
Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition. Chapter 1. To survive. The end. $12 left. To be continued. Received the despair bat present. Why would I give that to somebody? 1 is the loneliest number. Okay, I will save. I will save, and then we will take a break. Because that's perfectly timed. We've been at it for almost 2 hours. Alright. Wow, the trial took almost 2 hours. I wasn't expecting that. You can't give the Despair Bat, School Crest, or other end-of-chapter gifts to people. Gotcha. They're key items. Okay. Alright, well, that was awesome. I am invested in this game. That was really cool. Okay, I will be back in just a moment. Burp. And back. All right, straight into chapter 2. Ellipsis. 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 All right, time to examine everything again. Okay, maybe I examine stuff later. It's gone. She really is gone. It's almost like there was never anything there to begin with. Every last sign of Sayaka's existence has disappeared without a trace. It's just like he said. After the class trial, before we took the elevator back up, Monokuma told us. Oh, I almost forgot. Since the class trial is over, I'll go ahead and dispose of all the corpses. It's okay. No need to thank me. Just seeing your delighted, smiling faces is thanks enough for me. After all, nobody wants to look at a rotting corpse every day. That can't be good for your health. I didn't even have time to mourn Sayaka and Junko's deaths. I'm sure that's exactly why he did it. It's a bad joke, a sickening dream, but I have to accept the reality of it all. I headed back to the dining hall to meet up with the others. Sorry I'm late. Hey, are you okay, Makoto? No. You sure took your sweet time. I was just about to go and get you and drag you back here. Sorry. So, what happened? Was your room fixed up like he said? I imagine it would be pretty hard to sleep with a rotting corpse in your bathroom. Wipe that smile off your face. Jesus,
Hey,
that's
come
fucked
on.
up, man. Why would you say something like that? My room was spotless. There wasn't anything left. Like the whole thing never happened. It must be tough staying there, knowing what happened. Why don't you just stay in Sayaka's room? Well, staying there, with her scent still hanging in the air, that would hurt just as much. Plus, I've decided that I can't turn away from her death. Makoto. Hey, cheer up. Getting depressed isn't going to help anything, right? If we all work together, I'm sure we'll find a way out of here. So everyone just try and cheer up and get back on track. Is that honestly supposed to make us feel better? We were already working together, and yet someone was still murdered. Anyone could betray us at this point. Now that it's happened once, it's a question of when, not if, the next one takes place. Yeah, because Sayaka made the first move. But if we work together against a mastermind, nobody will have any reason to do something like that. Keep telling yourself that. I'll be over here in the real world. Working together, fighting a common enemy. Like it or not, it's not that simple. What do you mean? The mastermind seems to be much more powerful than we ever expected. They took over Hope's Peak, which was supposed to be well defended, then modified it to fit their desire. They created Monokuma, which seems to be incredibly advanced, and they're providing for our every need. And the cherry on top is the execution we witnessed. Everything has been planned down to the last excruciating detail. This is not the work of your everyday psychopath. Defying them may be too great of a risk. Then what are we supposed to do? Anyone who truly does want to escape will just have to follow the rules. In which case, the only option is to deceive those around you and win the game.
No.
No what? I don't want... I don't want to live if it means killing someone else to do it. I don't want to kill anyone else. Anyone else? What do you mean? Leon died because we all voted for him, right? It's no different from us killing him ourselves. Now, it is somewhat different.
But...
If we hadn't voted for him, then we all would have died instead, right? That isn't what you wanted, is it? She's right. If you heap that kind of blame on yourself, you'll turn into a full-fledged masochist. Chihiro, listen. You're not to blame. Not you, not Leon, and not Sayaka. The mastermind is responsible for everything that's happened. We had no choice but to vote. I can't even imagine what would have happened to us if we'd refused. And in the end, it was Monokuma who ultimately killed Leon. So don't waste your anger on yourself. Instead, direct it at the mastermind. Bing bong.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Oh, and one other thing. It was totally obvious before that you were trying to make yourselves feel better and justify what you did. See you, don't see you, see you. That's about how much I can see you, even when you try to hide. Now pay attention and remember this well. The burden of judging others is a heavy one to bear. So be well aware of your actions.
Making puns at a time like this.
Order and stability rely on the sacrifice and responsibility of everyone. Okay then. Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
What was that about just now? Was he saying it's our fault what happened? That's pretty cruel, man. That piece of shit. Who does he think he is? And so, the day drew to a close. A tense, maddening day that saw the deaths of 3 classmates. Sayaka, Junko, and Leon. But this is just the beginning. Our despair has only just begun. Boy's life of despair. I woke up the next day to Monokuma's normal morning announcement. Then he called us all to the gym. What's he going to do to us this time? Probably let us into different parts of the building. We were practically frozen with fear, but Monokuma was determined to get us involved in his little game. And with that goal in mind, he began it.
Okay, lift your arms up.
Why are you playing along, Taka?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now reach way up and bend way down. Tighten those muscles. Let's add a little strength, a little speed to those young bodies of yours.
Doesn't this feel just great? Being stuck inside like this, you gotta make sure to stay healthy. You're the one keeping us stuck inside. Don't sweat the small stuff. That's my motto. Whoa, I sounded pretty cool just now, don't you think? No. Did you fall in love with me? Am I just to die for? Am I just to die in writhing agony for? So, why did you call us here? Certainly it wasn't just to make us exercise. Just to make you exercise? Just to make you exercise? If exercise makes you laugh, exercise will make you cry. Now, if you keep doing these exercises, you will uncover the secret of the assassin's fist. Passed down from generation to generation in the Empire of Darkness, the power can be yours. That sounds like the kind of joke a middle schooler would come up with. It doesn't matter. Just get to the point. Did you really call us down here just to exercise? Of course not.
Hey,
You think I have that kind of free time on my hands? Yes. Sakura's mad she was distracted from her exercise to do exercise. Okay, so then... I'd like to make an announcement. Every time you overcome a class trial here at Hope's Peak, a whole new world will open up to you. A whole new world?
Heck?
It'd really suck if you had to live here forever with nothing new to stimulate you. Besides, I know how you kids get these days with your ADD and ADHD. I gotta keep you motivated. So go ahead, look around all you want. Enjoy the brave new post-trial world till you explode. With that, Monokuma disappeared, leaving us even more confused than when he'd shown up. But, a new world. Is he talking about a way to get outside? That seems unlikely. Well, we don't know till we look. Whatever he meant, it seems we'll have to search the school one more time. Okay, then let's split up and start investigating. When you're done, everyone meet back up at the dining hall and we'll share what we found. You're basically a one-trick pony, you know that? More like a staple food source. Now let's get moving. Seeing his words as their signal, everyone scattered and left the gym. Alright, time to look at everything in every room. Are they always watching us? Don't they ever get tired of it? Jeez, it took everything I had even just to think about mocking them. Yes, I will leave the area. Neurodivergence came out in 2007. I know because I was born in 2007. Oh, no, you're making me feel ancient. I was 19 when you were born. Oh. Alright, Yasuhiro. Okay, we're in the gym. Taka and Mondo. Hey, Makoto, did you see what's inside the display case? Bad. This is super bad, man. What are you talking about? I didn't notice anything all that weird in there. Sure, to the untrained eye it's nothing, but this is awful. A bad, awful, terrible trap. That stuff you see lined up there? Any god could come by and use it to send a message. Huh? Oh, I've been struck with knowledge. It's an ill omen of total devastation and ruin. Yeah, you knowing things is an ill omen. Let me out of here. Let me out! I have no idea what he's talking about, so maybe I'll just leave him alone. Inside the display case are trophies and other items. Winning championships and stuff probably came naturally to anyone going to school here. This is one of the monitors. Someone's using these cameras to watch people die. Don't they have any shame at all? Aha! Aha, we can go upstairs now. We'll do the first floor first. Need to find out what Monokuma meant by a new world. Ah, maybe we have to do this. Whoa, Taka! Makoto, look! The gate blocking the stairs is gone. It would seem a path to the second floor has opened up. But it's also of utmost importance to double-check the areas we already know about, just in case. Aren't I so clever to think of that? I really impress myself sometimes. Ah, shut up. Well, I'll leave the school to you. I went and checked the metal hatch in the main hall just to be sure, but just like I figured, it hasn't moved an inch. Shit. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he made things that easy for us. Hey!
Hey, damn it!
Don't make that face.
What?
You look like a pussy. You want me to put some fighting spirit in you? Well, do ya? No thanks. I think I've got enough for now. Well,
Yo.
okay. I'm gonna go look for another way out then. God, your pompadour is so stupid. Okay, so I have to go upstairs. The gate that was blocking the stairs has been opened. Is this what Monokuma meant by a new world? If so, what's up there? More bathrooms! This is the second floor of the school. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Yeah, I'm sure of it. There's got to be something here. Okay, so it's the same... No, it's not the same shape of map. Sakura. And 4 people are in the library. Ooh, exciting. A pool? Oh, Makoto. Hey, guess what? Guess what I found? A pool. There's a pool here. A pool. Pool, pool, pool. You don't have to keep repeating it. I got it. And there's a ton of exercise equipment in the locker room. Sakura's gonna go nuts when she finds out. Yeah, you're right about that. Hina seems way more excited than usual. Lots. Okay. Is this some kind of card reader? I wonder what it's for. For getting into the, Nope. The second floor has opened up. The living area has grown, and a number of facilities are now available. Whatever else is going on, I must admit things have been made much more comfortable for us. If things continue like this, the occasional class trial may not be so bad. Behind this door is the locker room? Oh, and I guess you need your handbook to get into the locker rooms. Really? Really? If you want to unlocker the locker room, you'll have to swipe your personal e-handbook across the card reader next to the door. That's going to be relevant later. However, to ensure maximum security within each locker room, only a boy's handbook can open the boys' locker room, and the same goes for the girls. And that's the bottom line. But what if someone opens the door and then someone else sneaks in? Anyone who commits such indecency will be punished without mercy for their scandalous sexual depravity. See, there's a Gatling gun mounted on the ceiling, right? And it'll be all ducka 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 ducka. I bet it'd really hurt to get shot by that thing. No, I think it'd be a little worse than that. But what happens if someone loans their handbook to someone else? A boy could borrow a girl's handbook, and that would get them into the girls' locker room, would it not? What? That never even occurred to me. To think someone could be so low, so cowardly, so devilish. Okay then. How's this sound? Time for a new rule. As of this moment, loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. There. So now nobody can give their handbook to anyone else, right? You like that? I'm kind of a genius, right? It's because my brain is 100% cotton. I do not imagine anyone would have lent their handbook out in the first place. After all, they would likely be held responsible for anything that person might do using the handbook. But, you know, you seem awfully concerned with all this locker room security stuff. It's because all you teenagers are sex-crazed maniacs. You're at that age you'd try humping a plastic bottle. So to keep anything unseemly from happening, I have to maintain a rigorous watch. Then in that case, I would ask that you keep the same close eye on our dorms. If some man and some woman decided to share a room, there would be nothing to stop them. All I care about is protecting the holy image of the school itself. I don't care what happens in your private dorms. By force or by cunning, do whatever you want. I hate you so much. Okay, so the new regulation is now in place. See ya. Man, that stupid bear totally ruined my mood. Maybe I'll go take a dip to cheer myself up. Celeste, Chihiro, you want to come with me? There is nothing I hate more than getting water on my face. Sorry, I'll pass this time. How come? When you're in a funk, there's nothing better than a good swim to pull you out of it. I'm pretty sure that only applies to you. Is that a real gun? It's not like we're at war here. Why would we need something like that here? You just found out why. A surveillance camera. Even here we're being watched. The door to the girls' locker room. I have no way of unlocking it, so I couldn't go in if I wanted to. Boys' locker room card reader. I can open it using my e-handbook. I'll go in a minute. Hey, Chihiro, have you checked out the pool yet? No. I don't like wearing swimsuits. Yeah, you do seem like the type who might not be into that kind of thing. But still, it sounds like the locker rooms here have all the exercise equipment you could ask for. Maybe I'll give it a try. I'd kind of like to get a little stronger. You want to get stronger? I have to say, that's kind of unexpected. But I'm not even brave enough to step foot into the locker room. Huh? You don't even want to go in the locker room? It's not that I don't want to, it's just... I don't get it. Is she afraid of locker rooms or something? That's a pretty weird phobia, though. The locker rooms connect to the pool. It looks super nice and big and fantastic to swim in. Oh, I'm beyond excited right now. I can't wait to dive in. In fact, I'm getting kind of mad thinking about it. Why are you getting mad? There are a bunch of different pool-related items on the shelf. Aha! That's 2. It looks like one of those lifesaver flotation donuts. 3. How many did you say was in each chapter? 10 or 20? There are 20. Okay. I've got to keep count. Monokuma, I thought you were trying to keep people from being horny. How long am I going to be stuck here, being watched by all these cameras? Now this is an interesting poster. Obviously someone put this in the school, but is it really okay to have something like this here? That is a nice pool. Lockers. Well, I would expect to see that at any normal pool. Not just one of them, though. 4. Alright, so who's gonna wind up drowned? This is where the bathroom cleaning supplies are stored, is it? No, it's not. That's a bathroom stall. I don't see anything useful in here. Ah, I see. I see the little closet on the map. That's up to the 3rd floor. The baby is sleeping. Please be quiet. Ugh. Five. This must be what he meant by a new world. I should probably take a really close look around. Probably. Second floor, too. The windows here have those same metal plates covering them. 6! And then a normal classroom. Windows here have those same metal plates. The gate's blocking my way, so there's still another floor, which means not everything has opened up yet. Alright, class 2B. Reality isn't everything with a more realistic bear. That's actually pretty creepy. Maybe we're not allowed to break them, but what about blocking them so they can't see anything? Nope, still not brave enough to try it. 7. All right, to the library. Lots of interaction points. It looks like a laptop. The laptop looks pretty old, and it's all covered in dust. It's broken. I tried pressing the power button earlier, but nothing happened. It might just be out of charge. It's broken, huh? Too bad. I'll hand it to Chihiro, see what she can do with it. I was hoping I could use it to go online and see what's going on in the outside world. If it's broken, there's nothing I can really do about it. Is a laptop that old even internet capable, is the question. It is 2007. The shelf is covered in dust, but on the shelf is a letter. What's this? Hope's Peak Academy. It was buried under a thick layer of dust. It must have been sitting there for quite a while. Well, shall we see what's inside? But we shouldn't read other people's mail without their permission. Now is not the time to be a stickler for that, Makoto. Also, I wish I'd talked to everybody before doing this. What we shouldn't do is leave this here without finding out what's inside. Okay. I broke the seal on the dusty envelope and pulled out the single sheet of paper I found inside. I unfolded the paper and read what was written there. From the Hope's Peak Academy Executive Office. Throughout the years, we have been committed to shaping the youth who will one day shape the world. We have a long, proud history as an institution of higher learning with full governmental support. Our graduates enter society ready to take on active leadership roles in every major job field. However, Hope's Peak Academy must now lower the curtain on its glorious history for the time being. This decision was not an easy one to make, but serious issues beyond our control have made it necessary. But make no mistake, this is not the end for Hope's Peak Academy. We intend to reopen our doors as soon as the issues forcing our closure have been resolved. That being said, this is the end for now. And I would like to personally and sincerely thank everyone for your help and support over the years. For now, we are awaiting official governmental authorization to formally cease operations. What does this mean? The contents of this letter are quite interesting indeed. It would seem Hope's Peak had stopped functioning as a school. And judging by the amount of dust the letter had collected, it doesn't seem to have happened recently. If I had to guess, I'd say this letter could be at least a year old. So, you're saying Hope's Peak closed down at least a year ago? Most likely, the mastermind took over the abandoned school in order to put on this little performance. But that would mean it was closed when I got here just a few days ago. But I didn't get that sense at all. How long have we been locked up? Plus, if the school had shut down, don't you think it would have been in all the newspapers and stuff? I mean, you're saying it could have happened over a year ago, right? But before I got here, I looked stuff up online about the school and never saw anything about this. It must have all been part of the mastermind's plan. They lured us all in here. Someone who could create a place to judge and execute people could potentially be capable of anything. That's a bit of a stretch, Byakuya. The other things that Monokuma or whoever has done are a bit more impressive than just constructing an execution chamber. Of course, that's all assuming that this letter is real. If it is real, though, that does solve one mystery surrounding the school. The reason there are no other students here could be because the school had already closed down. That would be a nice, simple solution, it's true. But then, what about this other part? This decision was not an easy one to make, but serious issues beyond our control have made it necessary. But make no mistake, this is not the end for Hope's Peak Academy. We intend to reopen our doors as soon as the issues forcing our closure have been resolved. What did they mean by serious issues? That's apparently why the school had to close. Is there any connection between that and what's happening to us now? If the two events are in fact connected, uncovering that connection would be a useful clue on top of figuring out the mastermind's motive. Although I can't really say any more until we find more details. So in other words, only the mastermind knows the truth right now. The mastermind's motive. If we can figure out why they would want to imprison us all here, will that be enough to get us out of here? Or... Anyway, now I have a pretty good idea what's on the second floor, but I didn't see anything that might lead to any kind of exit or anything. All I can do now is hope someone else found something worthwhile. Okay, I better head back to the dining hall as soon as possible. No! 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 I wanted to talk to people! And I haven't saved for a while. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how'd it go? Did anyone discover any interesting new anything? There's a library.
Yes, indeed.
And a pool. A frickin' pool. And locker rooms filled with exercise equipment. There was not, however, anything resembling an escape route. Yeah, she's right. Well, hey, there's no reason to get all sulky. Wait till you hear about my amazing discovery. The warehouse and bathhouse on the first floor of the dorms are now open. And the warehouse is chock full of food, clothes, whatever you want. There's so much, it's insane. So go ahead and stuff yourself to the gills whenever you feel like. Ha ha ha! Keep in mind, of course, that going out at nighttime is still prohibited. Please do not forget. Wait, hang on. If going out at nighttime is prohibited, why didn't Sayaka and Leon just get executed? Or wait, no. No, that was our rule. Never mind. Okay, what about a fucking way out of here? You find anything like that? Oh, well, there wasn't anything in the warehouse we could use to get our asses out of here? Nothing? Unfortunately, no. Not that I saw. You fucking people.
Come on.
Who gives a shit if we have a goddamn pool now? Or a warehouse, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I'm with Mondo on this. We're still trapped in this piece of shit school. We need to find a goddamn way out. Now, there is no point in taking your anger out on us. Adaptation is the key, yes? For now, we must each find a way to enjoy our current situation. Whatever you say, you fucking loon. For now, let's just continue our investigation and let everyone know if you should discover something. So, are we done for today? No, we're not! Well, yeah, I guess so. The air seemed to suddenly grow heavy again. Was this the mastermind's plan? To give us hope, just to turn around and betray that hope? Bong, ding, dong.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then, sweet dreams, everyone. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bug fight.
We all promised not to leave our rooms during nighttime. There's not much else to do. I guess I'll just go to bed. We wake up and Hifumi's dead on the floor. Mr. Monokuma! Mr. Monokuma, do you have a second? I don't really like myself. I don't have any kind of skill or hobby I can say I'm super good at. And my grades are totally average too. My reflexes are okay. Not great, not awful. I could get into a decent college where I'd make a few friends, maybe even find a normal girlfriend. Which is exactly why I don't like who I am. I understand that now. My life is just one giant copy-paste. I don't have any imagination. I'm a perfectly average cardboard cutout.
You see what I mean, right, Mr. Monokuma?
Ding dong.
Good morning, everyone. It is now 7 a.m. and nighttime is officially over. Time to rise and shine. Get ready to greet another beautiful
Nobody
day.
should be awake at 7 a.m.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to let you know that your e-handbooks have been updated. New regulations have been added, so please take a look and enjoy your school life more than ever before.
The new rule has been added to the regulations menu. He must be referring to yesterday. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. But right now, I need to hurry up and head to breakfast. Okay. I found 7. The lint roller. There's definitely less of it left than there was at the start. Yeah, no shit. I never really paid attention to my bed or anything up until now. But man, my old bed at home really was the best. See, not bad for before. It's the toolkit. Still hasn't been opened. I don't think I need it right now. I was using these cameras to watch people die. Wait, hang on. Hang on. That's the door out into the hallway. So, okay, so that's the door out into the hallway. Which means the plated windows lead into Kyoko's room. What the hell? Are there even windows there for them to be plated? It actually kind of doesn't look like it. It kind of looks like they're just part of the scenery. Can't let myself turn away from Sayaka's death. For Sayaka and for myself. Well, I can't go in there. Hey, 8! Ah, I got rid of the sword. Can't waste time on sentimentality now. The others must be waiting for me in the dining hall. If I try to go downstairs. Oh yeah, I should check Junko and Leon's rooms as well. Junko, she's gone for good. Leon, he's gone for good. Okay. Let me out! Let me out!
Hey, Makoto!
Morning, Makoto. Good morning. Is everyone here already? Nope. Still waiting on Byakuya and Taka. Byakuya is no surprise, but it's strange Taka's not here yet. Knowing Taka, I imagine he is trying to get the King of Tardiness up and out of bed. I'm sure they'll be here soon enough. Just be patient. I don't mind waiting for them, but there is one problem. Which is, I am thirsty.
Hey,
how the hell is that a problem? Hifumi, would you make me some tea? Huh? Milk tea, if you please. Why me? Your roundish figure reminds me of the owner of the coffee shop I used to frequent. That's your reason? I can feel my throat drying out. Quickly, please. Okay. Don't say yes, Hifumi. Apparently unable to refuse Celeste's order, Hifumi skulked his way into the kitchen. And a few minutes later... Thank you for waiting. Hifumi reappeared with tray in hand, the gentle aroma growing stronger as he approached. Finally. You could have made some for the rest of us, you know. I emphatically decline.
Think about this in a common sense kind
You're
of
not
way.
my type at all. Ah, I thought you didn't like 3D. Why are you going for Celeste? It's all about the law of causality. Basic instinct. Act and react. Well then, if you don't mind. Hifumi says, no, I'm not giving it to you either, and downs it in one gulp. A small smile played across her lips as she held the teacup delicately in her hand. Wait. She cocked her head to the side and threw the cup as hard as she could at the wall. What the? That'd be based? Yeah, it would. Alas, he is the most unbased individual of all time. Hey, what are you doing, my little white rabbit? I hate this kind of tea. I don't understand. Imagine we are at a coffee shop. Just any normal, everyday cafe. I sit down and I order some tea. Then they ask me, would you like lemon or milk? Now, further imagine that I replied, yes, I would like milk tea, please. In this case, along with my tea, they may bring me a small container of milk, yes? But this is not for me. I am among those who prefer the milk to be part of the process from the outset. The fragrance is just so overwhelmingly sweet that way. Adding milk or lemon right before you drink is like dousing your fries in ketchup. Mere condiments. I don't even douse my fries in ketchup. Hate ketchup. Ugh. Whenever looking for a cafe, I first review their menu to see if it offers the proper style of milk tea. And I cannot acknowledge any milk tea that does not add the milk during the brewing process. If I had to describe our shared reaction to what we just heard, I'd have to go with wide-eyed bewilderment. She is so punchable. I went to all that trouble to make you that tea, and you wanted me to go even further? Yes, I realize it can be a bit of a hassle. Even in cafes that offer proper milk tea, it is always more expensive than simple tea with milk. It takes more time to prepare, surely, but why even bother creating a menu if you are not going to offer the highest level of quality? Well, we don't actually have a menu. That does not matter. Oh, that's an angry face. That does not matter. Hurry up and bring me what I asked for, swine.
Say what?
What? Okay, your little piggy will bring it right out. God damn it, Hifumi. Grow a spine. I do so love coercion. You were like a totally different person just now. Yeah, shit. You really went psycho there. I knew there was more to her when I first met her. I'd hate to have her as an enemy. Seriously, man, she's one scary chick. The dining hall doors flew open, and one of the late arrivals came storming in. But, bad news, everyone. There is a mystery afoot. Huh? What happened? It would seem Byakuya refuses to leave his room. I stood there pressing his doorbell over and over, but he never showed himself. Maybe he just wasn't there, or didn't want to come out. I'd like to think so, but I'm worried something might have happened to him. What he meant by that. He didn't have to say anything else. Everyone understood exactly what that might mean. It might be a good idea if we all split up and go look for him. I was just about to suggest the same thing. Stop trying to one-up everyone. Okay, then I'll go check his room one more time. I'm just going to keep on hammering that button till I get a response. Very well, then the rest of us can go check the rest of the building. Yeah, before it's, too late. Suspicious. Anyway, we have to just do our best to find Byakuya. So where might Byakuya have gone? Maybe he went to go check out the second floor of the school again. I just remembered. How do I change the difficulty? Can I change the difficulty? I swear there was a way. Save and go to main menu. Okay. No, not the map.
Danganronpa.
Nope. You just do it before the trial? Okay. Alright, well, when we get there, remind me. Though that won't be happening today. Celeste, aren't you going to help look for Byakuya? I have not had my tea yet. Huh? Until my thirst is satisfied, I have no urge to do anything. If you are in a hurry, feel free to motivate Hifumi to move faster. I'll motivate him to leave you out of it. Okay. But aren't you being kind of selfish? Gee, where'd you get that idea, Makoto? Hey, that's 9. We instantly find Byakuya's body and launch into the trial, yeah? Hifumi, grow a spine. Get out of here. Ah, Mr. Naegi, what's going on? Well, nobody's seen Byakuya this morning, so we've all decided to go look for him. What? That's not good at all. However, this little piggy needs to. I have a holy edict to deliver a proper milk tea to my master. To bless this undeserving swine with such an honor, I will serve you with all my heart and soul. I thought you weren't a fan of 3D. Oh, okay. Good luck with that. Hifumi's created some creepy alternate reality for himself. The one specific knife is still missing. Sayaka took one of the knives that was here, and then she... Well, she dented it on a sword sheath, so I don't think it would be any use for cooking anymore anyway. I bet the girls would go crazy if something this big was filled with cakes and sweets and stuff. Well, that's sexist. No, that's the wrong thing to be thinking right now. Aha! 10! Aoi and Toko are in the hallway. Taka's in the warehouse, which we should check out. He's in the men's bathroom. Mondo's in the dressing room. Nobody else is in their rooms. Alright, let's find Aoi and Taka. Toko, not Taka. Oh, hey, they're both right here. Hey, Hina, any luck? Nah, it's no use. I keep banging on his door and nothing. Come on already, open up. Careful, you're gonna bust the door down hitting it that hard. Relax, this is nothing compared to what Sakura could do. Sakura's really awesome, you know? If she really wanted to. She could tear this door to shreds. I see. Well, she is the ultimate martial artist. She might actually be able to do it. I've been knocking long enough. I think I can say for sure he's not here. I think you're right. Okay, I'm gonna go look around for him. Okay, good luck. Hey, Toko, hanging out with Hina, huh? What, you got a problem with that? No. Huh. Something might have happened, right? Being alone right now might not be safe. So you got scared and decided to stay close to Hina. I guess everyone has a softer side. As long as I'm with the sports idiot, if something does happen, I'm sure she'd jump in without thinking and take the fall. Huh? What? Were you eavesdropping? Awful. You're just awful. No, that's projection. Get lost, you stray cat. God, you suck. Let's see text for Byakuya. Maybe I'll knock myself just to be sure. Aoi turns and watches me do that with an annoyed look on her face. See? He's not in there. Yeah, I guess not. There's a hatch on the floor. The door won't budge. It must be locked. This is the trash room. The dump, in other words. But with the gate in the way, I can't actually get inside. The surveillance camera. What are you doing in the bathroom, hero? Huh? Oh, well. I consulted the spirits, and he had a bathroom emergency and couldn't make it to breakfast. His guts forced him to spend all morning in the can. But I was totally wrong. Swing and a miss. 3 strikes, I'm out. That's 1 strike. Yeah, Byakuya doesn't seem like the kind of guy to have problems like that. Great, I gotta check all the washers. Lovely ladies of Earth, world-class beauties. Aha! 11! $12! 13! 'Surprised Hifumi hasn't come by and stolen it or something. Ha! Are those massage chairs? Using this massage chair would make me feel kind of old. 14. Lockers. One of them is unlocked, but I don't see anything inside. How's it going? You find him? No. Shit.
Hey, come on.
Man, where the hell did he go? He's got his head stuck so far up his ass, who knows what's going on with him. I figured maybe he was taking a bath or something. So what about you? You a morning bath kind of guy? After spending all night riding your hog, wind in your face, there's nothing better than a morning dip. The hot water loosens you up, and the heat of your soul gets your heart and body pumping. Sure thing. I'll have to take your word for all that. What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
What?
Fucking nerd. Oh, come on.
Hell yeah.
Guys gotta expose themselves to each other, you know? Come with me next time. You'll see. I'll think about it. But I mean, it's not like you've been riding your hog here in the school, right? Well, he's been perhaps cranking his hog. Oh, that was a nice effect where the pipe went down and then the steam came up. This bathtub is huge. What's this? Is it the heat source for the sauna? Sauna coins? Well, the only place in that final sauna room to get a coin would have been to reach into the burning coals, so I wasn't expecting there to be any coins in that room. Oh, right, the warehouse. Aha! I see you came to search this area as well, Makoto. But you were one step too late. I've already finished my investigation, and there was no trace of Byakuya here. An army marches on its stomach, as they say. So I thought maybe he would come here to have his fill. We must all eat. Eat until there's nothing left to eat. Anyway, now is no time to get discouraged. We must head elsewhere to continue our search. Yeah, you're right. Lots of things to inspect. This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on. There's all kinds of stuff piled up everywhere. I could never get half this stuff in the outside world. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm kind of excited looking at it all. Is this the fridge sack I mentioned? It's stuffed tight with food and drinks. A surveillance camera. Someone's using these cameras to watch people die. There's all different kinds of food stacked up. From basic ingredients to snacks and candy. It's everything anyone could ever want or need. Okay, let's see. Why is the second floor here cut off? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to save, and I will be right back. Okay, unfortunately, I have to go. So we're going to end about half an hour early, I guess, and we'll just do an extra half an hour on the 15th when we do this next. Schedule is in the Discord server stream announcements channel. I gotta go. See you soon.